Welcome to Dai Headlines. I'm Anthony Carlisle. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines deliver aid to 171 families whose homes were burned down in a fire near Manila. We celebrate the 6th anniversary of the Tzu Chi school in Chiang Mai, Thailand by meeting the first students to enroll who are graduating this year. And after resisting pressure from the developers, 600,000 trees planted in Hualien are growing into a mature forest and a valuable natural resource for Taiwan. Yet another fire in the Philippines ripped through a shantytown area in Cainta of Rizal province southeast of Manila. Tzu Chi volunteers rushed to the scene of the blaze, hoping to take a load off the victims' minds. One young couple fled their burning home with their 2-month-old baby in their arms, leaving behind the milk powder and the bottles. Thoughtful Tzu Chi volunteers delivered new supplies to the mother and care packages to a total of 171 affected households. Tzu Chi volunteers deliver milk powder and baby's bottles to mother Lorena Sumalo after a fire robbed her of her means to feed her 2-month-old child.
I'm very grateful because I don't have any problem in terms of its milk supply. I'm very grateful to them because this is really a big help for us.
A total of 171 homes were burned down in Cainta near Manila. Tzu Chi volunteers quickly mobilized to comfort the victims, preparing emergency supplies including blankets, tin cans, kitchen utensils and 10 kilograms of rice for each household. Jonalyn Magdaragog was due to get married in less than a month. The money she and her fiancé had saved, as well as items for their wedding, all went up in smoke.
2 years po namin kasi. We saved for 2 years for our wedding and we were shocked when it was burned too because we don't have any money now. We're very thankful to them for their help. It is a big help for our family because we didn't save anything. That's why I'm very grateful to them.
Although the marriage had to be postponed, at least the couple still have each other. Time after time, Tzu Chi comes to the aid of fire victims in the Philippines. In prayer, the residents may find the strength to rebuild their lives out of the ashes. From the Philippines to China, where Tzu Chi volunteers in Xiamen of Fujian province recently visited needy children living in the Tong'an community. Some of the youngsters are orphans and some are raised by their grandparents. The volunteers also persuaded the youngsters to give foot baths to their guardians as a way of thanking them.
After their mother passed away and father left home to work, Lu Mingnu and Lu Ting were left in the care of their grandfather. But it wasn't until today that they had the chance to fully express their love for their grandpa.
You need to show your love. Sometimes when you're at home, you feel kind of awkward about it, but it is something that you should do.
Volunteers are not only here to bring the family closer together, but also to provide funding to assist with the education, helping to fulfill dreams.
I want to thank all those who helped me. I will do my best to finish school and in the future help others to the best of my abilities.
In the Tong'an community, orphans and children from single families all receive a visit from Tzu Chi volunteers. Moving on, caregivers make a call at the house of Ling Yingchuan, whose father passed away and whose mother is in very poor health.
I'm relying on other people's assistance. I can't work and it doesn't feel good to be unable to work.
None of these families wants to be on the receiving end forever. Fortunately, they're all blessed with mature children and the continuous support of Tzu Chi volunteers.
The students graduating this year from Chiang Mai Tzu Chi School in northern Thailand are from the first intake when the school was built 6 years ago. 51 students who studied from the first to the 6th year are now ready for junior high. There are also students who joined at the 4th grade who are now graduating from the junior high section.
down on bended knee, the graduating students of Chiang Mai Tzu School expressed their gratitude to their teachers and parents. This year's graduating students at the school in northern Thailand were the first intake after the school was built. Looking back over the last 6 years, they have not only studied, but also absorbed Tzuji's humanistic teachings.
I'm grateful to my parents and for sending me here to learn so I can be more courteous.
We're very happy to see them graduating today. I've decided to let them go on to study junior high school here because I'm very touched by the Tzu school.
Graduation is not just an end, it's but a new beginning in life. Whilst I hate to part from everybody, the master said that the wise knows when to let go, and by letting go, one can obtain unlimited bliss.
The graduating students prepare to give a performance about their own development. The parents and teachers watch with a sense of gratification.
After my child came to study at Tzu, he made progress. Before and after school, he would put his hands together and say, "Hello, Daddy," to me. He hadn't done that before.
The teachers have been presented with flowers of gratitude and have in turn given their blessings to the children to take on to their next stage on life's journey.
Teachers at the Chiang Mai Tzu School recently started taking their students out of the classroom on the weekends to visit care recipients. Fifth graders went with their teachers and Tzu volunteers to visit 25 households. It may have looked as if the children were caring for the people in need, but in fact, the students gained much more than they gave.
Supporting this family of children is Grandma Bota. The twins are already 15, but they suffer brain damage as a result of encephalitis and have the mental age of 2-year-olds. Their mother abandoned them. 9-year-old Kanchai also depends on Grandma Bota after his mother's death, but understands the situation and helps with household chores.
Thank you to Tzu for accompanying us always, for not abandoning us. We're very happy. Without anyone to help us, I don't know how we would carry on.
Tzu has cared for the family the last 3 years. Today, students from Chiang Mai Tzu School also came along. Seeing children about their age whose circumstances are so different from their own moves the students deeply and makes them see how fortunate they are.
We should study hard to reduce the burden on our parents. It was great today to go and care for the care recipients. It helped us to realize how fortunate we are. I want to be a good child. I want to be able to tell other children that we must be diligent in our studies and help to share the burden of our parents.
Chiang Mai Tzu School, taking the children out of the classroom at weekends, actually takes them into the classroom of life. In the footsteps of the teachers and volunteers, they visit care recipients one by one, bringing a lively atmosphere to elderly people living alone. The moment of giving is a precious lesson indeed.
On this day, the 10th of March, orchids bred and grown in Taiwan used to export only to Japan, Korea and Holland. But on this day in 1986, they made their debut in Europe's flower markets. After years of modification and crossbreeding, Taiwan's orchids are the second most sought-after flower on the European market, with an annual sales volume of about $100 million. On this day in 1986, the Tzu Foundation established its Taichung chapter in central Taiwan, thanks to the hard work of Dharma Master Da Hong and local volunteers. Master Da Hong began serving Tzu's mission in Taichung in 1970. As the number of volunteers increased, a bigger office was needed. The first outbreak of Newcastle disease in Taiwan was in 1968, which resulted in the deaths of over 220,000 fowls. The second outbreak occurred in 1984. On this day in 1995, Taiwan's Council of Agriculture confirmed that the disease could be passed on to humans and warned the public to stay vigilant to prevent infection. Located in China's Fujian province near the Zhejiang border, Fuding Hospital was built in 1950 and has served millions of patients. On this day in 2001, the foundation of the Tzu Extension building was laid. The new building would be completed by 2004, introducing Tzu's medical and humanitarian missions to the local people. At the Shanlin Da'ai community in southern Taiwan, which was built for displaced Typhoon Morakot victims, after-school extracurricular class began on this day in 2010. Headed by Tzu's teaching volunteers, the program provides comprehensive tutoring to elementary level students living inside the community. As we just saw, Tzu's Taichung chapter was established on this day in 1986. Over the past 25 years, volunteers have worked hard to build up the local office, and soon a new Jingsa Hall will be finished, marking another important milestone for Tzu in Taichung.
A classic Japanese colonial building in central Taiwan was once home to a high-ranking Japanese official. On March 10, 1986, Taichung Tzu chapter was established here. Master Zeng Yan holds classes here regularly.
There were so many people packed in here, even under the trees outside, all the way out to the streets. Master Zeng Yan empathized with the crowd. There were no places to sit. In summer, everyone would be sweating a lot.
To accommodate the crowd, an expansion project was authorized by the master. After construction began, Master Zeng Yan visited the site many times. Then 35-year-old Wu Qingyun supervised the project. With the help of many volunteers, the 1,300 square meters Taichung Tzu chapter was completed in 2 years.
The master said if Taipei were like a person's brain, then Taichung was like a heart, the center of it all. It has easy access to every part of Taiwan, so it's the center point. It's easy to carry out Tzu's work here, and this is vital to Tzu.
Now 87 years old, Yu Jin-san has been coming to the chapter grounds almost every day for the past 20-some years. He just wants to make sure everything is in order.
Now that I'm old, people say the old should stay at home and keep watch. This place is like my own home.
Yu Jin-san's wife, Song Li-jiao, is always by his side. She used to shoulder the maintenance duties at the office and continues to volunteer even now.
The Taichung chapter is our own place, so of course we take care of it ourselves. We don't think about anything else. We come here happily. We're glad Master Zeng Yan established this office for us to contribute to.
Tzu volunteers in Taichung are all doing their part in carrying out Tzu's work. With the new Taichung Jingsi Hall nearing completion, they have something else to look forward to.
This will become a gathering place for many bodhisattvas. They will be attracted by the spiritual design of our buildings and touched by the devotion of our commissioners to serve and inspire.
The circle of love is expanding in Taichung, enriching the lives it has touched.
In a wise move by the Taiwanese authorities, a large area of farming land in Hualien County, which used to be a sugarcane plantation, has been made into a forest. Since 2002, over 600,000 trees of 23 different varieties have been planted. We went to the east coast of Taiwan to see how the forest is doing.
The signature chimney no longer smokes, and the sweet smell of burning sugarcane no longer fills the air. Here in Hualien, on the east coast of Taiwan, the sugar factory closed down in 2002. Today, the sugarcane fields are planted with over 600,000 saplings.
Reforestation is not creating a virgin forest, but reforesting the area. There's a mixed variety of a lot of different tree types to make a diverse forest.
8 years ago, Typhoon Taraji ripped through Guangfu Township, stripping the once green mountain slopes and turning them muddy gray. Eight years later, the Forest District Office is turning around the fortunes of the damaged hills. What were small saplings are now mature trees, which can be seen on both sides of Provincial Highway No. 9. Magnolias, Eliocarpus, maples, cinnamon are just some of the 23 varieties of Taiwanese indigenous trees that thrive in this climate and soil and are highly resistant to pest attacks. The forest also has an added safety feature.
Between the sections, there is a farm track. At 10 hectares, we leave a fire break about 5 meters across. Added together with the farm tracks, it's about 10 to 15 meters wide.
Standing on a 1,250-hectare plot of greenland, this is a fairy tale forest. If one tree absorbs 25 kilograms of carbon dioxide a year, then the 600,000 trees in the wood will take 15,000 tons of CO2 out of the atmosphere. This unique national resource is also the perfect habitat for wildlife.
There are a lot of peasants inside which like to live on the forest border and jog along the roads. When you bump into them, it's a really wonderful feeling. The variety of wildlife there is amazing, especially birds. We've spotted 65 species of bird.
The county government wanted to develop a racetrack and a tourist hotel for the area, but the Forest District Office demanded that any development be low carbon, low density, and not over-commercialized to protect the forest.
Activities there will mainly be cycling and nature tours, as well as forest preservation events. I think it's a very good breakthrough to introduce Hualien to this new idea.
The office will complete 2,248.87 hectares of forest by the year 2012 and develop ecotourism to preserve its natural beauty. After all, the future of the planet depends on human beings living in harmony with our forests.
With the future of the planet at stake, governments around the world have mapped out different strategies to cut their emissions. Here in Taiwan, with Arbor Day on March 12th, just around the corner, the Forestry Bureau is encouraging members of the public to plant trees. In our last story, we saw how the Hualien Forest District Office is reforesting a large area of the county. In our next item, we find out how the office has handed out a total of 10,000 saplings to local residents in return for cash till receipts, which are then donated to charity.
Here in Hualien County, Taiwan, there's no shopping sale or concert going on, but members of the public are lining up early in the morning for something special. 1 receipt for 1 free sapling. With Arbor Day March 12th just around the corner, the Forest Bureau in Hualien is collecting receipts to help the disadvantaged.
We hope when we give out free saplings that the members of the public will provide receipts. We will then donate them to charity organizations. So you make a contribution when you receive the plants.
Sweet olive, orange jasmine, azaleas, West Indian jasmine and camellia are some of the 5 most popular plants among Hualien residents. And there's a total of 10,000 saplings. Many residents bring their own bags to carry the plants. Some residents come back every year for the free plants, and under their care, these saplings have become small trees.
I really like this plant because it's part of nature. We do our best to grow green trees so that the air quality will improve.
Tree planting not only helps to improve our environment, but will also reduce carbon emissions and safeguard our planet for generations to come.
Taking care of the older generation, Lai Chen Su Lian from Dacun Township in southern Taiwan not only looks after her 90-year-old mother-in-law, but also extends that care beyond her home to disadvantaged families in her community.
Lai Chen Su Lian's mother-in-law is 90 years old and has problems walking on her own because of degenerative knee joints and cataracts. Su Lian keeps close to her side, giving her support whenever she needs it. Su Lian's love for her mother-in-law lies in meeting material needs, such as buying a heater to keep her warm in winter, and in daily routines, like making food and feeding old Mrs. Lai.
She takes care of everything for me, like food. I don't have to worry about anything. She looks after me well, and that is enough.
I've been living with her for 40 years, longer than with my own mom because I married when I was 20 years old. She's just like my mom.
Su Lian's devotion to the family does not go unnoticed. Her husband of 40 years is grateful for everything she has done.
Looking back, I'm very grateful for my wife's support, especially in looking after my parents. I want to thank her and wish her a happy International Women's Day and happiness forever.
A devoted family woman, Su Lian is also passionate about community service. A member of the local women's club, Su Lian is committed to the well-being of needy families.
In Linkou district of New Taipei City, 24 volunteers from the Dongnan community have been making lunches every day for the past 5 years for nearly 50 local seniors. The volunteers make the meals before noon in their community kitchen and then even deliver some of them to the immobile residents.
As lunchtime nears, these volunteers from Linkou's Dongnan community in North Taiwan are working up a sweat, making meals for local seniors. From cooking to packaging the hot meals into stainless steel boxes, these skilled women do it all here at this community kitchen before delivering the food to solitary seniors at their homes.
It's very convenient. I can't walk. It's been a while. I couldn't walk since the New Year's till now. They sent it to my home, 2 meals every time.
After retirement, I didn't have anything to do, so I thought maybe I could do some charity work.
For 5 years now, paying visits to the seniors living in this community with hot meals and soup has been a daily routine for these dedicated, happy volunteers.
The volunteers greet them, and seeing them so happy, we're happy too. If we're old and someone helps us like this, it's a wonderful thing.
More than 50 seniors come here to have their meals, and over 20 volunteers come to help. These adorable volunteers spend their time to do this meaningful work.
The tireless community volunteers cook an average of over 10,000 lunchboxes for local seniors each year, warming up the hearts of the lucky recipients with meals made with love.
You have to start young to learn to care for the environment. City volunteers in Taipei put on a puppet show at a local kindergarten to teach the children about protecting nature. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching Dai Headlines. Goodbye.